Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of JCWA Unauthorized, episode Thresh 3. I am your host, of course, Joseph Torres. With me is actually a very surprising guest. He was a former, not only general manager here in character, but he also controlled JCWA at one point. Give it up for Jonathan Rojas. Say what's up.
Hey man, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me on the show.
Now, we're going to tackle the elephant in the room, up front because, people are probably really shocked about this, especially since, how things turned out between you and us and everything that went down. And Jonathan Rojas, heard the other podcasts and he actually wanted to, take an opportunity to explain his side of the story. So we figured where else other than JCWA Unauthorized. So whenever you're ready, man.
All right, man. Cool, man. Thanks for having me. It's a good opportunity, and it's good to open up to the JCWA world, And well, let's get it started. Well, back when we started, I was very interested. I was into the whole thing, and how can I put it? It was fun. I was in the moment. I was in the zone, and I was contributing a lot, and everyone was doing their part and everything. But what ended up screwing me over was my personal life. It really got hectic. It got to the point where I didn't know what to do. I started breaking down and everything. I had issues at home with my mom. She suffers from depression and whatnot, and during that time she tried to commit suicide. And so I was just like, screw everything out the door. I just don't care what anybody thinks, and I just disappeared from you guys. But I did try my best. I mean, when I was there, I did what I could. I even went as far as trying to get a place for JCWA, for Wednesday Night Brawls and stuff, which was pretty cool. But, it didn't last long because, I didn't put my effort and stuff. But then, you can't always blame that portion on me, because there was a few other people, I guess, they weren't too happy with the way things were going. So they started backing down too, instead of all of us meeting up and having a conversation and talking about it, which I don't think we never did. None of us really said, hey, let's all meet up and discuss it. Everyone was just like, oh, screw Rojas, whatever, and they just continue from there. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, I'm just going to have to continue my life then. And then that's it. That was it right there at that point.
Right. Well, if I can offer my 2 cents, kind of my side of the story, because every story has different sides of it. But, with us, the big issue, wasn't necessarily that you were going through things, because we figured that much. Before Wednesday Night Brawl, you seemed very into it, very passionate about it. You were involved in Hell on Earth and everything, and, you found an interest in it. And this was something that I knew that when me and Aaron came up to you, like, do you want to run Wednesday Night Brawl, which would be like our kind of like, Raw, SmackDown, whatever. And it would be something like that because it would be easier for him to do. And, we, in our mind, in my mind, in Aaron's mind, we trusted him with it. But, things had, like, the big thing for us was that, you weren't letting people know, when you couldn't make it at things, you know what I'm saying? Because at first it was kind of like, okay, at first it was a little light. It was kind of like, okay, sometimes, maybe you don't answer a text right away or something like that. But then it became something where you would say, hey, we're going to shoot this day or that day. And then the day would come up and all of the guys are kind of just confused and they're looking around and they're like, what do? We can't get in contact with Rojas. And then I kind of had to, like, save the day, I guess. And if it wasn't for that, there would be some episodes that we wouldn't have been able to, like, shoot the day that we wanted to shoot it.
Right.
So for us, you didn't have to tell us what was going on in your personal life. But, just a simple, hey, guys, honestly, things are not going well for me right now. Whatever the reason, don't even have to really get into it. I'm sorry, I can't run it anymore, or I can't do this or that. Instead, you disappeared. And the funny thing is, we were able to get you like one more time a little before Genocide. And I had this talk kind of with you before on, just letting people know if you can't make it a certain day, if you don't think you can do this, if you don't think that you can handle, this in any way or degree, I would have understood. We all would have understood. And then it wouldn't have been, screw Rojas. It would have been more like, all right, it was cool, how, while it lasted. You got us like a parking lot, not parking lot, garage.
Right, yeah, it was a garage behind a house or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a cool spot. But
I think that was also too far for some.
Yeah.
I mean, being limited, taking bus fare and stuff at the time for everybody.
Right. So. But overall, I'm glad to have you on here to let everybody know that Jonathan Rojas is still kind of like, how would you put it? Like could be kind of part of the pack. Not saying maybe JCWA
I can put it this way, it's like,
we're not enemies of him, and we don't hate him. Like you see him on the podcast, obviously, and and things happen, bro. And I honestly understand, but things happen with you. I figured you could have handled it a little differently, but it is what it is, and I'm not gonna dwell on it and look at you sideways or kind of hold it against you, look at you, from across the room. As long as we can discuss it like grown adults, and that's what's cool about this podcast,
Yeah, no, this is definitely, I agree. But, again, I guess, I'll man up to it. Shit, I'll own up to it. I apologize to everyone, that was then, and I was just going through some stuff, and I didn't know how to handle it, to be honest. So I was just all confused. So that was a big mess up on my part, but big kudos to Brandon Cox, because he actually reached out to me and spoke to me, and he was actually here with you and Aaron, and we got to sit down. So Brandon Cox, big kudos.
There you go. Shouts out to you, man. And to be fair, you were an interesting character. You did a good job, and that's something that I felt, because of what happened, overshadowed that in the storylines and stuff. You and your character had the potential to be much more.
Right. Heck, I mean, I love acting, man. It was fun. It was fun to be the bad guy, and do this and that.
Work with Aaron and the Elite, and you know what? You had some cool moments. But speaking of moments, ladies and gentlemen, that's another topic we wanted to talk about right quick. Is kind of memorable moments. Doesn't have to necessarily be favorite moments, but something that you found memorable, or something that you enjoyed or thought oh, that was really cool. Would you like to start off with one, or should I? Because actually he hasn't seen a lot of the newer stuff.
No, I haven't. I've been out of the loop for a while.
I'm gonna have to try to catch him up a bit, because honestly, man, we're doing some really interesting stuff, and on top of JCWA Platinum Backyard Brawl, there's kind of something real special we have planned for the 6th episode, the season finale of Platinum Season 4.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a huge match. I mean, you know what? Even though it hasn't been announced in the episodes yet, I think I might say it here as an exclusive. I'll announce it here on the podcast.
Wait till the podcast over. You can tell me after.
You sure?
Yeah, man.
Wait until the episode?
Yeah, wait till the episode. Why ruin it? Why ruin a good thing, right?
Alright, so for those of you that really wanted to hear, you could blame him. But you're right. You can check out.
More ways has to screw you over.
You guys can check out episode 4 when it comes out. It's not out yet, but eventually in a couple of days, big announcement, season finale. It's gonna make history in one way. I'll say that much. But I guess which one of us are gonna start?
Wow, memorable moments.
You can really, I guess, more so talk about 2013, 2014. Something cool that happened at any point.
Well, it was all interesting actually from beginning to the point that to the time
it's hard to say, right?
Yeah, it's hard. But I did have some, I had some interesting moments and fun moments along the line. So, I want to say, wow, it's a toughie.
If you want, I'll start.
Yeah, you know what? You
try to think of one or two.
Go ahead.
One cool moment I felt was at JCWA Showdown 2013 at the end of Team Cox versus Team Ortiz. Brandon Cox and Jonathan Ortiz shaking hands. You know, I thought it was cool because, you know, they had this big feud leading up to that, and it was kind of like a sign of respect from Brandon Cox to Jonathan Ortiz, and then back to him.
Yeah.
You know, and then it kind of pretty much turned Jonathan Ortiz's face.
Yeah, I used hand sanitizer after that.
You know, so that was cool. I don't know why I find it so cool, but I do. Another moment is Jalen Taylor winning JCWA Basement Rumble 2014.
That was
that whole match was cool. If you haven't watched it, anybody that you know is interested in this, Basement Rumble 2014.
Hey, let me tell you, Jalen Taylor, man, that kid. I mean, I regret kind of like leaving at the time I did because I actually wanted to work a more storyline with him.
Yeah.
Because just the way his momentum was just growing, and I was like, man, this is the one I want to like try to do something with and build something with, you know, within the JCWA. But a moment that I can recall, you remember Red Alert?
Yeah.
Okay, so
definitely.
This is around the time where I wasn't even in New York yet. I was still living in Miami, and I was doing like little promos that I'm coming. I don't know if you remember. I did this one where I was at the beach.
Yeah.
And I was like drinking some type of drink.
Okay, so this is best of Jonathan Rojas right now. That's what this is.
Yeah, best of me, right? More of me. Yeah, it was just
actually, I think you could find that on the Daily Motion JCWA page. There's a lot more of the JCWA's backlog on there than there is on YouTube. So
yeah, so that to me that was a moment because I was like really getting into it.
And that's when you kind of like first like started.
Yeah.
Aside from your one appearance at the Hallway Gauntlet, but that's before JCWA. We really talk about that stuff.
Wow, memory lane.
Yeah.
Another moment actually was working with Aaron down for Wednesday Night Brawls.
Oh yeah, the interactions you guys had.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And you know what? I think you meshed well with him as the kind of authority figure because, as you know, even though Aaron was face, you know, Aaron was always kind of like the anti-authority guy.
He was a grumpy dude, man.
Yeah, so it kind of works out perfectly. Like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. Yeah, you know, it's just...
It's like that guy never listened. Hard-headed dude. I'll tell him to do this, and he goes... Well, I don't know, you know. I was like, all right, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite moments working with him. Especially, I recall that one moment where it got heated up between both of us, and we kind of like end up not grabbing each other, but kind of like somewhat putting hands on each other, and that was
make it look like, oh shit.
Yeah, and that was like so intense, and I was like, that's perfect right there. That's, you know. And
by the way, did you see the little a trick to Aaron Benham at Genocide 2014 when your music played?
Oh, yeah.
It was perfect because we were like, well, shit, this guy kind of like, you know, pretty much created this event, so we got to mess with Aaron, and what better way than to do that? But actually, I didn't really get to really go more in depth about Genocide 2014 on the last podcast. One thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, Aaron's gauntlet match.
Okay.
You know, which you put together.
Yeah.
You pretty much came up with the idea. I don't know how far before that, but I know you were like, you know, you want Aaron to take on the whole roster. Mm-hmm. Aaron Benham's career is on the line.
Well, the thing was, the way the characters were going was that I really wanted to destroy Aaron's character 100%. Like, I wanted to get rid of him there. I mean, as a friend, in personal life, like, he's great. He's awesome. Yeah. But for character-wise, I hated his goddamn guts. Kayfabe. But and it was just building up, and I had so many ideas, like, you know, oh, this is great because I can keep messing with him, trying to break him, and he can just go against me. But then at the end of the story, it's just a big flip around, which nobody would ever expect. That in reality, it was just to get rid of the elite, and he would be on my side, you know, and.
Yeah. or possibly, or the elite may be possibly aligning with him. There was a lot of ideas.
Right. I mean, it was fun getting rid of you guys.
You know, well, to me, I think what was the coolest also dynamic about that as well is you kind of forced the elite and Aaron Benham to kind of like not maybe see eye to eye, but have a common foe.
Yeah.
You know, Eric saying you screwed us over at Showdown, which was another cool moment too. Showdown 2013 because you so did. Cold, and it was just merciless, man.
Get over it, guys.
It was terrible, and you're a terrible general manager for it.
You guys loved it.
But no, but in all seriousness, it was a cool dynamic, and your character was interesting as well. I'm not gonna say for who you decided to make your assistant general manager. I think we should just leave that one alone.
We should leave that one alone. Yeah. If you want to know, just go on the video.
Yeah, go find somebody in the roster will tell you because they'll know exactly what we're talking about. So I wanted to jump.
Oh man. Anyway, before we continue, another moment that I had was with you. Actually, the beef that we were kind of like building.
Oh, that started at Hell on Earth. Yeah. That was a cool promo too.
Exactly.
I enjoyed that.
So I mean, it was just like you were just like. I don't care who
and we were anti-authority too.
Yeah, exactly. So I had everyone against me. It's like you guys didn't want a general manager.
Yeah. We were like we're having fun beating people up, and now you're here to say you can't.
And you know what?
Our egos won't let us accept that.
I'll even put it this way: that part of my character actually went into real life when I made the show in PG, where I didn't want no one to curse.
Yeah. But
I think you guys hate it.
No, it was a little annoying for some people, but at the same time, now we don't even really curse that much anymore. I think ever since Sosa disappeared storyline wise, the cursing has like went down like a bunch of notches just by itself.
I remember we were doing so good, no cursing, no nothing, and then Sosa threw a promo against me.
And it said like,
and it was like F this, F that, bitch.
Probably just to give you more editing work.
And I was like, what the hell, dude?
That was the big thing too. He was running it and he was editing it. So that was why it was a big loss as well. Like he was really like, and you were getting good at it. And now, oh, by the way, a little plug. He does this vlog series on his channel. Right quick, if you want to plug the link.
Okay, yeah, definitely, guys.
It's interesting stuff. I got to check out some of it.
Thank you, man. Pretty much the basis of it is just what I do on my weekly life. It went from being weekly to bi-weekly to monthly, and now it's just to whenever I can get around to it. But I'm always going to do something with it. I'm up to episode 11. That's coming out soon. It's called Winston A40. That's it. You'll find me under that name, and any of my social media would be Winston A40, and you would find
A40 is really a thing, huh?
Yeah, well, it's a long history with me and friends and family.
If life was like Call of Duty 2, really good short, but yeah.
But it goes way back. So Winston A40 wasn't, Winston was a name that stuck. So I made the vlogs, and I'm having fun with them. I'm having a blast with them, and I'll be honest, if it wasn't for Jet Central, I would have never really get into the editing more. I got open up to it. I got way better. I got my own equipment now, and then I'm doing good with it. So definitely check it out, guys. I would appreciate that.
So there you go. You know what I'm saying? Check out the channel. And, another moment I wanted to bring up real quick was Reaper Crew forming. And I don't know how much you know about Reaper Crew, but that's kind of like the new destructive three-man force, and Joshua Lee, Justin Cruz, and James Van.
Is that like your version of the Hounds of Justice over here?
In a way, but it has its own interesting twist to it. Like I said, people, I'm going to show him like some stuff after this so he'll know what I'm talking about. But really, just Reaper Crew coming in and, us having a team for the first time since 2014 when the Elite ended. It's a cool thing, and I like their swag and their flow, and their music is perfect, and it goes with them well.
I gotta hear this.
So you gotta check that out.
You guys better impress me, I swear.
Jalen Taylor versus Anthony Vignon at Hell on Earth 2013. I kind of thought it was a cool moment only because it was sort of like he got to rub shoulders with a legend kind of thing, where he was brand new. That was like his second appearance in the JCWA.
Yeah.
And it was a way for Vignon to be like
that was a big push for Jalen.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, if you
sometimes you get a push even by losing.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely, guys. Hey, listen, it's not all about winning.
It's not.
It's be grateful that you have the time that you get in front of camera, because most people when starting off here, they don't get the camera time as much as often as they would like. So when you get that camera time, definitely just take advantage of it, go for it, and trust me, you're gonna get more and more time. So just be grateful, even if you get a little cameo in the background or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you'll grow into it. And Joseph and everybody in charge will keep putting you up there, and
we'll keep involving you no matter what.
Real quick, for those of you who are interested in Anthony Vignone's status, he's doing good, still doing strong, still out there defending our country. So
he went back?
Yeah, he went back. He's still doing his thing. So God bless him.
Itch.
Yeah, God bless him, and he'll be home soon.
Good stuff, man. Got to see him again. But any other moments? I mean, there's a lot. Like you said, it's even hard for me to come up with. There's a lot of good moments in the Platinums we've been doing lately. Well, with the Reaper Crew, Jonathan Ortiz storyline, and Deshaun Cullum, Keyshawn Donaldson, the whole thing with Xavier's open challenge. You know, he's doing a real good job, you know, pushing that kind of storyline along. You know, but
stories. I mean,
me and Aaron Benam. You know, well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you because you didn't see Hallway Havoc yet, right?
No.
But for the people that know what I'm talking about, that moment with me and Aaron Benam, that would be like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? I'll just say that much. We had a third topic we were gonna talk about, right?
I believe so. We did have a third topic. Hey guys, it's not easy sometimes. You know, when you do these things, you know, I mean, everyone thinks, oh, this is great, it's gonna come out, but sometimes, you know, gotta put a little twitch into it.
And I think it's much more interesting. You were saying this earlier, that it's much more natural to just be uncut, raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Leaving the mistakes. Who cares? Like, nobody's perfect.
Oh, and by the way, Javier.
Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier, right? Look at that. Wow. My bad, bro. See, I'm going to screw up your name. It's been a while, but listen. Xavier Woods, whatever you want to call yourself nowadays. Listen, bro. I heard you calling me out, bro. But that's what's up, man. Much love, bro. Much love. I'm glad you got better. I'm glad you're doing your thing.
Oh, yes.
You know, because I remember you starting up here, and you were shy as hell in front of the camera. I remember you didn't even want... You were so timid, bro. But I'm glad. You know, I remember. You remember those minis that we used to do, and he was like, oh, I don't want to. Just the little voice he was doing, but it was great though. I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I do remember the third topic now, but it was actually we kind of touched base, I should say, about it before Wednesday Night Brawl.
Wednesday Night Brawl. Wow.
Because you know, since you know, I haven't announced this yet, right? About the best of and the stuff. Did I bring that up yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna bring it up now and at least give you guys this announcement, because we feel that there's, you know, a good amount of Wednesday Night Brawl matches that are kind of forgotten, overlooked, you know, and overshadowed by, you know, the bigger matches and the bigger events and the rumbles and, you know, things like that too. And we felt that, you know, there's a good amount of matches there that certain people should see, and it'll be a nice little compilation bundle deal. It will be called Best of Wednesday Night Brawl.
Ooh, nice.
And it's going to be cool. We're going to try not to make the video too long, but at the same time, we want you know, to give you guys a cool trip down memory lane around, you know, later 2013, early 2014, when JCWA was almost like in its peak years.
Yeah, it was like until now. I remember just starting everything with that show. It was great. Yeah, just the little things finding out for that show.
The music that you picked for it was genius.
The music, oh my god. You don't understand how many songs I went through before I said, this is the song that's going to be for the show. It's perfect.
That would be like in a professional wrestling shows, like, you know, a TV show or episodes.
I hope you guys have one day like a JCWA Throwback Thursday episode and use that song, because that'd be awesome.
Maybe we might use it in the best of. Who knows?
Oh, hey, I mean...
You know, but, you know, other than that, it's just, you know, real cool to touch base with you again. Now, one thing that I don't know who would want to know this, how many people would want to know this, but I'm sure it's in the back of a good amount of people's minds. Will the character of Jonathan Rojas be seen again in the JCWA?
Good question. That's a good question. We'll leave it to time, I guess. We'll find out if I ever do decide to make an appearance somewhere.
So we're ending on a cliffhanger. He just basically gave me a maybe.
Hey, you never know.
I guess it's more fun that way, anyways, because you don't know what to expect. We had Outson Rodriguez return at Hallway Havoc and everything, and so you just never know who's gonna pop up. I mean, Jonathan Rojas over here, but.
Come on, man. Of course. But
stranger things have happened, people. JCWA is unpredictable. You just never know what's going to happen sometimes.
But, yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I don't know. I could maybe one day make an appearance. Maybe not. But...
Oh, now I got a better... Are you going to say anything else? Because I have
go ahead. I'm curious. Go ahead.
Now, will the JCWA ever see you wrestle a match?
I knew that was coming. I just felt it from the bottom of my damn soul. I
was just thinking of it right now, like, you know what? Because we've had this conversation before, actually, when I used to make a lot of the JCWA roster, and I think WWE 2K14 or 15 or one of them. The one where you can actually put your own music as the guy's music.
Right, is that the one where you made like characters of everyone?
Everyone, yeah. You Brian Sosa, Jonathan Ortiz, Damian and like, even though the game has limitations and you can't make it look exactly like them, a good amount of them I got spot on.
Dude, you got.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you did. You got.
I worked really hard on them. Like, on the face, I had a picture of somebody on my computer while doing it, just because I wanted it to look as accurate as possible.
It was pretty cool. You
know. But when I was making you, it was like, what do we give his moveset? So at least if you can't answer, if you're going to give me another cliffhanger, like, we'll have to wait and see, at least tell me what your wrestling style would be, or what kind of moves you would do.
Well, I was always a grappler.
Okay.
I'm not a high flyer, never was. I'm, been a big heavyset guy, so
right.
Been a heavyweight. And so
you're better for heavyweight moves.
Yeah, exactly. I've always been that power grab, Olympic wrestling type style. That's always been my style. Will I ever wrestle? Wow, I haven't wrestled in years. The last time I wrestled was back when I used to do wrestling in a park.
Right.
Which you can hear me talk about it in a documentary you made a while back.
The controversies of backyard wrestling, New York.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But yeah,
good plug.
Definitely watch that. Yeah, it's been years since I've wrestled. Actually, I'll let everybody in. Me and Aaron, when we was doing the storyline, I actually wanted to build it to a point where... Oh,
you go against him.
I go against Aaron. Yeah. Actually, what I wanted to do, I don't know, Aaron was doing his own thing somewhere else, and I actually wanted to go and intervene, over there and bother him over there and just start beef from over there, bring it over here, and finish it off here.
Wait, beef over where? You mean in his other feds?
Yeah, his other feds. I actually wanted to grab a camera, go over there. And
we were thinking of doing stuff like that too, like an invasion of one of
and I believe Aaron was okay with
wrestling or park wrestling feds.
Aaron
would have been fine with it, but some people's egos, they wouldn't allow it.
They wouldn't allow it.
Why do you guys get to... I remember one partnership, I'm not going to name names, but, one person that was, I guess, running the other organization or half owner was just like, we came up with this kind of like invasion idea. And, it was going to be something where we all come in and we all like attack kind of like the undercard guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it would lead to stuff where they get their hits back and it goes back and forth and things like that. But one guy was just very like, no, I don't want to be buried. That sounds like I'm going to be buried. I don't like that. And then it's like...
guys, when it comes to, like, being buried, losing, and being on the losing side, there's actually nothing wrong with that. Actually, it builds your character. It builds you more.
It really does. It humbles you and it makes you better, makes you improve.
It does and also, it makes you more known. Because listen to this, right? They'll always be like, oh, remember that loser? Remember that loser this? Remember that loser? You're the one being talked about, not the winner. Oh, yeah, he won. But you're the one being talked about. Now, when the tables turn, be like, yo, I remember when he couldn't win a match. And, hey, Jalen Taylor. Remember, he couldn't win a damn match to save his life.
2013, which, I'm glad you mentioned that because you noticed it in 2013. I think, I don't remember around what time, maybe Showdown, maybe Wednesday Night Brawl, maybe the first episodes where you said, hey, did you notice that Jalen Taylor hasn't won a match yet, right? And then that's when I realized it. It was by accident the first couple of events. And then he said, let's keep him on a losing streak.
Right, yes, I remember
and
that.
at first
Sorry,
I was
Jalen.
like, damn, my dude. But then shortly after I realized what he was saying, that basically it's going to lead up to, so this way when he does win, it feels more special. Like, wow, he went through all those losses, he just kept losing and finally his hand gets raised in the air, so it feels like a much bigger win than it is.
And then you see that when he won that big first victory, it was just
in
like,
the I Quit match against Jonathan Ortiz, which was a good match and was really good for their rivalry, because I didn't talk about their rivalry much in the last episode.
Not for nothing, Ortiz gave his all in that match. I saw him improve too, because he was a little bit back.
Oh, that too. And now Ortiz is like kind of like one of our big stars.
Damn, I've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to see your work, Ortiz, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while.
Everybody's kicking ass, the new people too, some of the people coming back. We have that big match like I was talking about. It's going to involve tons of people, so if you want to join at any point, join now or soon or when you feel like it, but I can't promise it's going to be here forever, so if you want to be a part of it sooner than later. You know?
Look at him trying to recruit me now. We did this years ago.
No, but I'm saying, hey, like we have good chemistry at Joe and John Plays.
Joe and John Plays. Definitely check out Joe and John Plays, where we review video games on the go.
Dude, that was some of those episodes, like, I thought were so, like, funny and good. And we had good chemistry on that show.
People love it to this day. They still watch
it.
I mean,
one of the episodes, by the way, has over 4,000 views.
Wow.
On YouTube. It was a Ren and Stimpy, I think, or the WWE one. I forgot. But when I looked, it was like, damn, okay, well, somebody was watching. Okay, somebody was watching the videos.
Those were fun. The one I just, to put it out there, the one I hated the most was that Minecraft episode.
Oh yeah, it was just kind of boring.
It was just a headache and a half. I was like,
and to be fair, I regret picking Halo Reach for the episode with Jeffrey Almonte. Shouts out to Jeffrey Almonte, big YouTuber. You know what I'm saying, doing big things on the internet and whatnot, and traveling. But like I wish I didn't pick Halo Reach. But going back to JCWA, is there anything else that you want to talk about, or you feel that we didn't really go in depth, or do you have any questions for me, or anything about the product?
Well, as far as questions for you guys, no, because I see you guys are doing your thing. You guys are progressing. You're moving forward. I see you guys are getting new people all the time, and it's not like, back when I was in it, it was kind of like a deadlock, and no one really wanted to come in or anything like that. But I see you guys are progressing. So
that's a little something against you for the joke.
What guys? What, I showed you nothing but love. It was I have no questions for you guys. I mean, the product. I mean, then it was good. Now I believe it's great. I seen a couple of previews to what Joseph has put up on Daily Motion and whatnot. So those are great. And no, man, hey, listen, again, from back then till now, I've changed. People change.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, big sorry to everyone. And I hope that in the future, we can still be all good friends and whatnot, because, hey, you guys are great. All of you guys are great. 100%.
I respect that, man. And you know what? I think a lot of these guys are going to appreciate that. Because I even though I think people had issues, I don't think anybody, really, hated your guts.
No, I think it was just all about the product and how.
Yeah. So it was more of annoyance, but we're all glad to see how you're doing and catching up to keeping up to date with you and catching up with you in terms of moments and everything like that. But
it's good, man. It's good. I mean, hey, this is fun. This is fun to do, definitely.
So I guess that's about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, guys, enjoy the sound of my voice, because who knows when you're going to hear it again.
Passing the half-hour mark, so we're going to wrap it up a bit. Now, thank you, everybody, again, for tuning into JCWA Unauthorized. Let's see how far the show goes. I think it's pretty interesting. We get to talk about cool topics like this that you really can't talk about in the episodes, because that's acting. You know, so this is where you get to really be you, out of character, and express yourself. So I think that's what's so cool about a show. I don't know why I didn't come up with this a long time ago.
I know, this is great. I love podcasts.
You know,
I listen to a whole bunch. This is right here, top 3 right here.
But you know, so thank you everybody for listening. My name is Joseph Torres.
Hey, I'm John Rojas, man, and I appreciate you for having me on your podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. And as always, everybody, I'll catch y'all next time.